Hello, my name is LaFae Duggan, and I'm a student at BYU, Idaho. You are probably wondering what I can possibly have to say for a podcast. Great question, by the way. I've been working in a hospital for about 2 years now, and I'm wanting to give you a little insight in something I've learned while I've worked at the hospital. I've truly learned how important it is to wash your hands. We were even tested on our skills of washing our hands. I thought this was funny at first because who does not know how to wash their hands? They had me wash my hands with soap and water, and then we looked over my hands under a black light. I was washing my hands very thoroughly because I was not going to be the one that did not do a good job. After we washed our hands, they put them under a black light. It was then that I realized how many places I had missed and how I could improve my own hand washing. I really noticed through the black light that I did not wash well around my nail beds and in the creases of my hands. This experience was eye-opening to me. I wish everyone would have a chance to see how well they wash their own hands. Unfortunately, I do not own a black light, as I'm sure many of you do not own a black light as well. However, I can teach you what I learned through this experience. The CDC, the Center for Disease Control Prevention, teaches 5 steps to properly washing your hands. The first step is to wet your hands with clean running water. Warm or cold does not matter. Then turn off the running water and apply a generous amount of soap. You are now on the next step, which is to lather your hands while rubbing them together with the soap. Lather the back of your hands, in between your fingers, and under your nails. The third step is to scrub your hands for at least 20 seconds. You can use a timer or hum the happy birthday song from start to finish at least twice. The fourth step is to rinse your hands well under clean water, making sure all of the soap is washed away. The final step is to dry your hands with an air dryer or a clean towel. If you do not have soap or water, hand sanitizer is what works well if it contains at least 60% alcohol, which will effectively get rid of the germs. The Indian Journal of Medical Research said the significance of hand washing in patient care was conceptualized in the 19th century. LaBarrick provided the first evidence that hand decontamination can be markedly reduce the incidence of puerperal fever and maternal mortality. Semmelweis worked on the Great Hospital in Vienna in the 1840s. There were 2 maternity clinics in the hospital, which alternated day admission policy. The first clinic was attended by medical students who moved straight from the autopsy room to the delivery suite, and had an average of maternal mortality rate due to puerperal fever of about 10%. The second clinic, attended by midwives, had a maternal mortality of only 2%. The puzzled Semmelweis had a breakthrough in 1847 following the death of colleague Jakob Koetsky, who had been accidentally cut by a student's scalpel while performing an autopsy. His autopsy showed a pathological condition like that of a woman dying from puerperal fever. Semmelweis concluded that some unknown cadaverous material caused puerperal fever. He instituted a policy of washing hands with chlorinated lime from those leaving the autopsy room, following which the rate of maternal mortality dropped tenfold, comparable to the second clinic. I am sure most of you listening to this would think that it's common sense to wash your hands after hanging out in an autopsy room. I know I would. But my question to you is this. Do you wash your hands thoroughly enough? And do you wash before, during, and after preparing food? Do you wash before you eat? Do you wash before and after caring for someone who is homesick? Do you wash before and after treating a wound? Do you wash after using the toilet? Do you wash before and after changing a diaper or cleaning a child who has used the toilet? Do you wash after you blow your nose or cough or sneeze? Do you wash each time you have touched an animal, fed the animal, or cleaned up the waste? Do you wash after you have given the animal a treat? Do you wash after you've touched the garbage? The CDC recommends you wash your hands after all these incidences. If you have answered yes to all these questions, you are doing great, and I hope you keep it up. If you need some improvements on some of these questions, now is the time to start to improve your hand washing techniques. We have always had germs and illness to worry about. We are now more aware than ever of the importance of hand washing, with the illness of COVID-19 spreading quickly throughout the world. By following proper hand washing techniques, you can help stop the spread of illness and keep yourself and others safe. I hope that this message will influence at least one person to improve their hand washing, because that one person can stop the spread and prevent themselves from germs or illness. I'm so grateful that you listened to me, a college student and hospital worker, share something of importance that I've learned. If you want to learn more about the tips of how you can wash your hands, go to the CDC's website titled Hand Washing Clean Hands Saves Lives, When and How to Wash Your Hands. And if you want to learn more about the autopsy study, go to the website of the Indian Journal of Medical Research under the title Hand Hygiene, Back to the Basics of Infection Control. I hope you found this information helpful to you. Thank you for listening.